I mean, I don't know if hard is the right word, but like, you really value those who believe in you. That was like all in the span of 1 month.
Brother was being attacked.
I was literally like, what did I do?
I don't know. For me, there's stories I want to tell and be a part of, and there's stories I don't want to tell and be a part of.
Yeah. And it gets to a point where it's like, well, shit, I guess everyone survived Order 66. Accepting you're getting older physically, accepting that, you know, you're not 20 anymore or 15 anymore or whatever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jordan Whitrock Show. I'm your host, Jordan Whitrock, and today we have another special guest. This guest is someone that I've got to meet as I've come down here to school at SCAD in Savannah, Georgia. Actually, it's funny because I don't know the first time I actually met him. When I think back, it just was like we always ended up being in the same place, it seemed like, and then that in turn turned to like a mutual connection, then soon to be friendship. So with that, I'd like to start this show and introduce him and learn a little bit about him more in a deep way. Maybe something he'll say will be something that impacts you in your life. So without further ado, let's welcome to the show, Alec Thorn.
Hi. What camera do I look at when I
Oh, yeah, that's your camera.
Okay, like I don't know if this is the type of show. Just directly address the audience. Hi everyone, I'm Alec Thorn. That was so aggressive. I'm Alec Thorn. I am a second-year grad student at SCAD. I think we met
were you at the like opening year thing?
I think I was.
'Cause I don't remember you there.
Yeah, no.
But I also didn't meet all the grads. So.
Yeah, I had to leave like early because our first rehearsal for Mauritius was right after. So like Scott was booking it, I was booking it right after. So I didn't get to meet everyone. But I think you and I met formally at Film Fest.
Yeah, did we sit next to each other?
We did.
Or just in the same area?
We did. Least. It was you, me, and Bobak. We were sitting in like one class, and I think...
Actually, I think I have a photo.
Yeah. We do.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. It's like deep in my camera roll.
Yeah, I definitely have it in the camera roll.
But yeah, and I think we saw each other like again at the Variety 10 artists thing. Yep. Like after, because
so maybe it was just like Film Fest is like we just happened to run into each other because we just would always go to the same events. But we did, was it, I'm trying to think. We did extras for something, right? Was it Showcase?
We did,
extras?
yeah, at Showcase.
And I feel like that might have been the first time that you and I like actually got to talk to one another.
Yeah.
I think. Because I think before it used to be like, oh, like I know you're acting graduate, I'm acting graduate.
Student,
it's
acting
like,
student.
And that's like as far as it would go. And I think that was like the first time we got to maybe talk about something deeper or just like learn a little bit more beyond the obvious. But I think from that, it was like, oh, it would be interesting to have you on the show and learn from like what you did. Because, I mean, take this what you will. But from what I heard from the grapevine is that you are one of those students that like really blossomed at SCAD. From like you first coming to SCAD and taking advantage of everything that they offer you. Mm-hmm. Like you are someone that has done that very successfully. And so I'm curious on like what has SCAD been able to offer you that maybe you didn't have before coming to school?
See, it's interesting because my main thought, I think, every single day is I'm not doing nearly enough. So it's like, because I've only done like a couple short films and, you know, like a lot of things I've turned down because the way my brain works is just like I get overwhelmed very easily. Yeah. I guess like this is something I'm going to like introduce to talk about right now because it might lead to another thing later. But I'm on the spectrum and I have ADHD. So I can easily lose track of so many things and I get really overwhelmed when I have so many like things I'm expected to do and expectations put on me. So like after undergrad for like 2 years, because I graduated from undergrad 4 years ago. Yep. I went to University of South Carolina and I was just kind of drifting for 2 years. Like I did some background work, but then the strikes happened in 2023. Yeah. So like nothing was happening around here or in Atlanta anymore. So I just didn't know what to do. And then I was looking at SCAD and I was like, maybe it'll be this. Then I was doing the ERDAs and then SCAD didn't call me back. That's That's not shade at anyone. That's just how it was.
Yep.
But other schools are calling me back, so I'm like, okay, well, let's see. Then all those kind of like dried up, or at least we're not worth like the price because they're way too expensive out of my budget. So I was just like, yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I'll just work at an AT&T for a bit or something. And my mom was like, no, finish your fucking portfolio. Like you are an actor. Finish this damn portfolio so you can at least say you did it. Yeah. And then I did it, and then I got in at the very last second. Okay. And I've just like, I was out of the game in terms of like actual acting for 2 years. So going into my first realism class was like culture shock a little bit because I forgot how to do it. So it was like just the steady stream of trying to soak up everything and learning and meeting as many people as possible and learning everything from professors. And I was very fortunate to get a lot of that from doing Shakespeare in Love last year.
Wow.
Because it was a big cast with a lot of undergrads, with a lot of people in it. So it's just been like, it's there's a lot that I wish I did more of, but I'm so grateful I came because I've gotten to do stuff I haven't been able to do. Like I have a voiceover reel now. You'd have to pay like thousands of dollars to do that. And technically you're doing that here too, but that's beside the point. Yep. It's really just about like, I know I'm preaching to the choir a bit, but it's just about like, just not taking a second or taking anything you hear for granted. Like, just like soak it in, let it shape you, basically. That might have gone on for way too long. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I think that's good for either people that are currently in school that are listening to this, whether it's at SCAD or another program. And I think like one thing that we were told when we first came was like you by coming to graduate school, you've bought yourself 2 years of time. That's what you've bought yourself. That you don't have to do anything other than work on your craft.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you might have to have a side job or something like that, or work in the summer. But it's like, but when you're here, like, that's all you're doing. Like, in a way, you're paying to be doing stuff. But if in the real world, it's the other way around, right? And so it's training you to be in a scenario or situation like that. And so I think for me, that's been like, there's been moments where I'm like, okay, I'm killing it, as in like I'm using all my resources. But then there's other times where I'm like, kind of like what you were saying. It's like I can feel overwhelmed, or I can be like, I know this quarter, like the one that we're currently in, we just started spring quarter. It's like, is going to kill me.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm going to take winter quarter off and chill because I need to make sure all my ducks in a row so that when I come into this fire, we're going to be good, But no, it's just interesting. Also, I don't know, you guys probably could tell from like the first shot, but we are in a new studio, quote unquote. We also have David back on TDing for us. So let's go, David.
Hey. What's up, guys? Hey. Howdy.
Yeah, we had I'll get into this in another episode if I do a solo episode soon, which I'm probably sure I will. But I'll get into more details about why we are here. But nevertheless, blessed that we have a roof over our head and we're able to set this up enough to make something happen. So I appreciate Alec being very patient because he got here and I thought I had it like pretty much set up, and of course I didn't because the lighting was an issue and all that stuff. So no, but okay, so your journey into SCAD, was it very much like last second, like the day before cutoff, or like was it like just the idea of like submitting, or you were going between schools, or
it was like, so I remember I did the the online IRDAs, because I was led to believe that would count for my portfolio, that just doing that audition would count for it, like the live audition.
I thought it did. No,
because they were telling me I had to record it. And I forgot to record it.
And I only asked because they switched the rule when I went. They weren't allowed to record, so we had to actually audition again.
Yeah, no, they that would have been good for me, but no. No. So for months I was just like, well, I got to just film something now, and I didn't really know what to do much in the way of a portfolio. So just for months I was putting it off because I just felt so discouraged. And also 2024, I went through like several health things. Like I got tinnitus.
Dang.
I got a cyst. I got my wisdom tooth broken. I had an abscess that I had to get a root canal for. That was like all in the span of 1 month.
Brother was being attacked.
I was literally like, what did I do? What did I upset the gods above, or the god above? Whatever. Like, what did I do to? Who cast pestilence on me? Who did that? Why is that horseman after me? But for like a while, I was just struggling with all that, and it took me way off track.
Yep.
And then my mom was like, okay, finish your portfolio just so you can say you did it and see what happens. I'm like, okay. They were keeping the door wide open for me because I actually turned it in the day after the cutoff. And I was like, okay, I have to do this purely on that.
Like you still had a bunch to go, and you were still like, even though it's a day late, I'm just gonna finish it. Like,
yeah, I'm just gonna do it.
Yep.
I'm just gonna turn it in, even if it doesn't get me anything. I'm just gonna do it. And then, like 3 hours later, I got the email saying that I was accepted. And initially, I was like, "That's a quick turnaround." I feel a little suspicious about that. But like as soon as I stepped in here, that suspicion went away. But then actually, it was Scott Smith who told me that, you know, why can't I speak anymore? He told me after our first performance of Mauritius,
Yep.
that he watched my tape. He watched my portfolio in that short span of time.
Yep.
And he was telling me, like, we had our cohort all figured out. We were good to go. And then he saw my tape and he's like, he was telling, I forgot who he said he was talking to, but he was like, I want you to take a look at this one guy. And the other person was like, yeah, I like him. Do you want him in? And Scott was like, yeah. So they put me in. So
the deep cut.
But that meant a lot to me because it's, I mean, I don't know if hard is the right word, but like, you really value those who believe in you. Like, being told that you are believed in so much that at the very last second you were put into this program, that really meant the world to me when he told me that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah, no, like every time I doubt myself, I try to remember that aspect. But yeah, it was the definition of the last second. Not even the last second. I had no seconds left. So it was like I had negative seconds, as a matter of fact.
You know, I'm trying to think. My ERDA experience was interesting because there was a couple schools, and then some schools broke the rule and were like, hey, like we want to reach out. We're like, based on how we do our like acceptance, it's earlier than what we're allowed to like send stuff out, but we're just gonna send it out to you anyway. So we're gonna keep it on the DL, you know. But so it was kind of like, it was interesting because like I got offers from other schools, and then SCAD came along, and then my parents were very much like, we'd rather have you in Savannah, Georgia than like California or New York, you know. And so it was like, okay, you know, you guys are behind me and I appreciate that. And so I'm going to have to take your word. But then also just like SCAD is so much film, and I do want to dive into that. But I think I don't know. I feel like for me personally, I learn more on stage. And the professors work on stage.
Yeah.
The professors don't necessarily work with film. And so unless you can get tied in with like a really good like director here at SCAD that's a student, like sometimes to me it's like, like I wish I would have just done a show with like a professor, or just done a show where I can really dive into the craft that I'm learning to build characters, because for me it's easier to do that with a play or musical than it is to do with just like a script, especially if you're a small character. But I also know that there is value in like learning how to dive and create a small character, because that's probably most of the roles that you will end up with if you're lucky. So I think my plan next is like, yes, audition for all the stuff, but then dive more into it. But also I feel like I'm more picky with the films that I'm working in, because I don't know, for me, there's stories I want to tell and be a part of, and there's stories I don't want to tell and be a part of.
Yeah.
Just straight up. It's like, oh, like maybe I don't believe this concept of this film. And like, I also know who I am as an actor. I can't play that character just because like I can't play the bully. I haven't learned how to play the bully. I can be like I don't know. But like if I get those roles, it's like, well, I know I'm not gonna be able to, like, whether that's like my heart's too big and I can't get over that, like whatever that is.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of scripts have come my way. I'm like, I don't know if I can get behind that script. But then the ones that I have done, I'm like, I'm all in. And I think that's, to me, a bigger deal than it is to just do as many scripts as possible, because I'm like, well, the projects that I work on and people see that I work on are going to tell a story just as much as just me acting and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think maybe I'll probably have to be a little bit more open in the future so I can build a reel, knowing that too. But I don't know. It's interesting. Also, I have to work in the summer. So I go back to the factory at Alliance Laundry, building dryers in the summer.
Why that felt so? Why did I laugh? I'm sorry. That was so rude. I'm so sorry. It's just the way you were saying it. I was just like,
I was trying to make me feel better, you know. But so like it's interesting because there's a lot of stuff that like I've been reached out with a lot of stuff. They're like, hey, this film's coming between like January and July or something like that. Like, and it pays like this much a day. Like, you could audition for this role, and obviously it's not a given that you get it, but I can't even do the opportunity because it's like, gotta make money for school. That's the number one priority. And so I think I do feel a little bit bad because I'm like, damn, like I keep saying no to all of these things, and eventually that's gonna bite you, you know. And how long can you get away with being like, hey, I'm busy until they're like, okay, he's just busy, we're not gonna send him anything.
yeah.
So that's like the other thing I gotta be like, so as long as I feel like they see that you're doing something, you're good.
I do concur with that because it's like that was wait, that's not in my lexicon. Concur, that's not in my lexicon. Why did I say that?
Let's go.
But like I do agree with that because like there were a lot of things that I was either rejecting or not responding to, not because I didn't like it, but because I literally just did not have time, and it would slip past me and I would forget to respond. So like my reel is very small as well because I haven't done a lot of short films. I've really only done 2 here. I'm trying to get at least one more in with a more substantial role before I leave. But yeah, no, it's just like, I think the fear of like, oh, well, if you're not doing anything, they'll stop contacting you. They'll just be, I think I have that same fear. I've discovered that as long as you keep meeting people and keep being personable with people and keep like, you know, doing what you do, whether it's like on stage or whatever, they will take notice and they will still keep you in mind. Because I thought for a while that like I was just, okay, I'm probably not going to be the guy people approach. And that turned out to not really be true. So it's like, it really is just about keep doing what you're doing, keep doing stuff, whether it's, you know, plays or whatever, and keep meeting people and keep making them feel like they're a friend and whatnot, and they'll keep you in mind.
Yeah, no, I think that's also just the industry. And like I said, as long as you are staying active, like I feel like a lot of times people will just like, if you audition, they'll just go to your IMDb and they're like, okay, what have you been in recently? You know, like, in that way. So I think as long as you're just continuing to do that, it's all good. But so you've been in a couple shows here at SCAD. Is that something that, do you see yourself being more of a stage actor compared to film, and that's kind of why you lean towards that? Or do you just find that you just have a ton of opportunities on stage that you're just like, well, I might as well take them, you know?
It's difficult because I want to do more film. I really do. I have not had nearly as much training in it. Yeah. Because like it was just not really that field that I was able to like access as much. I had a little bit of it in undergrad, but not that much. At least not as much as this school offers. Yep. So, and also I'm like a deer in headlights. Like Joan McMurtry was like, when in the realism class in our final, she was like, Alec, you have the deer in headlights eyes, where it's just when you're on camera you just go. Because I'm like, my eyes are naturally sunken in, so I'm trying to make sure that like I'm not like closing my eyes way too much.
Are you a squinter?
A little bit, but like
I'm a squinter. Yeah. I'm a big time squinter. Looking at the camera right now.
It's just like every time I like see myself, it's my eyes just look like this to me.
Well, and like I smile, which I'm working on it, but keep your eyes open, right? So like as a kid I always smile like I always cheese so big, but then you like realize your eyes are squinting. So it's like keep your eyes open, then smile, but then get rid of the creepiness, scary. And then you're like, okay. I'm just like, what are we doing here?
But yeah, no, like I've liked doing my film acting classes, and I've liked doing the short films I've done. It's just a matter of like, I've had more training on stage.
Yeah.
I feel more prepared for camera than I did before I came here, for sure.
That's good.
And I want to keep learning and doing that. Like, when you take the auditioning class in your second year, it's going to be so helpful because it's like,
I do look forward to that. Okay, here's an interesting question because you've kind of done most of the curriculum up to this point.
Yeah.
Was there a class that you wish you had earlier that you didn't get? Or do you feel like the order of what it was good for you?
that's a toughie because it's like, I feel like it's kind of spaced out pretty well. If I had to say, one class that I think at least should be part of the curriculum that isn't, but we basically got them to make the class, was building the actor's reel.
Yeah.
Because that's a class for undergrads, but for grads, it's like you have to submit this request for it to be this like hybrid class. It's not even an ACT class. It's like an SFLM class.
Okay.
Where it's like a working with film department.
Yep.
So I feel like that needs to be part of the curriculum because not everyone gets cast in short films.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the time to do them.
Yep.
So it's like we need some material to at least like have for when we leave. So I'd say that for sure should be in the curriculum. I think when we took it, because we did it in the fall, I think that was a good time because we had our first year, we were trained enough so that we felt more comfortable on camera. But I don't know. It's like I can't even say auditioning, I feel like should be earlier because like it works well because you've studied all this stuff.
Okay, and that was my question because I
Yeah.
feel like for me that's like a class where I'm like, damn, I wish I had that because like I go through half of the length of this program auditioning for a ton of stuff, not really having a class that's like, hey, this is the best way to audition.
That's
and
fair,
it's like
yeah.
it's like damn, it's like I look at some opportunities, it's like, oh, maybe I could have gotten that had I. Or like the feedback I'll get if I'm lucky enough to get it is like, oh, like we really liked you. However, this little thing, and it's just like things that would have been solved had I just had the experience. Because like undergrads are so lucky because they get 4 years of this. So they get 2 years to kind of mess up, figure it out. And then they have 2 years of like go. We get 2 years of go and trying to figure it out. So it's like, what's your best way of getting through that and figuring that out? Anyway, so I think that's just interesting. But I was curious on your perspective and if there was a class that does it. But David, you have done a lot of films, or you work on a lot of films. Are you usually in front of the camera or behind the camera?
Recently I've been more in front of the camera. My whole life I've started behind the camera and everything, but it's taken me a couple years to get into these cinematography classes, so I've tried to
Really?
I've tried to just like expand my knowledge and all that on the other positions that are in the industry, you know?
Yep.
But I definitely have found myself in front of the camera though recently, which I love. I love. Yeah.
I know it sucks. 'Cause I feel like I'm just not gonna have time this quarter, but I really want to film some stuff with you. So we'll have to figure out, David, if there's a time.
Yeah, man. I know there's some guy. He has a kind of a team of people. They are
Okay.
They write like random sketches.
Okay.
Some are comedies, some are serious dramas and everything like that. So I wanted to get you in touch with that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna send you his info.
Yeah.
I know there's like a sketch comedy group, and I only knew because I was scrolling TikTok one day and I saw this page for a sketch comedy group. I'm like, that's a classroom in Kreitz Hall. I'm on to y'all. But yeah, like I know that there's like a lot of that stuff around. So yeah.
No, it's all good stuff. What was so your mom said you're an actor, be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
You said maybe there was a moment where that wasn't your thought, and then but I want to ask, did you have a moment where you were like, yes, I am an actor, or this is what I want to do, you know, even before maybe you went into that lull of not knowing?
Yeah. I think how far can I stretch this back? Because the interesting thing
A long time ago.
Far away. It all started when I was born. But I went to this arts elementary school.
Okay. W's.
It the best thing about it is that we didn't have to pay for it because we did not. I was raised by a single mother in a townhouse.
Yep.
We were on a shoestring budget.
Gotcha.
So thankfully that was not a school that like required any kind of payment.
Yep.
But it was like each grade would put on their own original musical each year. So it was like 5 original musicals written by the department.
Original musical.
Which is crazy for a public school. That was insane.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny because as a kid, I thought these were like official MTI Broadway musicals.
So was this just like the faculty writing them and stuff?
Yeah, it was just we had a lot of people. Like I think my dance teacher from elementary school, I think she went on to produce either Tuck Everlasting or Anastasia on Broadway. I was just like, what are we doing here then? Like in Hilton Head, South Carolina. But I mean,
I'm 6. No,
I'm 6. But even before, like I kind of just got the bug from like watching so many movies as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 2 movies that shaped me as a child were Spider-Man 1 by Sam Raimi.
Okay.
Because I was bullied as a kid, so like that movie is like your North Star.
Yep.
If you're a bullied kid. It was just, that movie is like, I can quote that entire script verbatim.
What's your favorite line?
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself. From Willem Dafoe. Yeah.
Okay.
It's such a brilliant movie. And also The Matrix by the Wachowskis. It's just both of those. I was too young to be watching that movie.
Do the Matrix get better per every movie or no?
A lot of people don't think so. A lot of people say that the sequels are bad.
I've only seen the first one.
Mm-hmm. I really like the sequels actually. I think Reloaded, which is 2, I think Reloaded is a bit wonky because it's part 1 of a 2-parter, but I really love Revolutions and also
Is there 5 of them?
There's 4, and the 4th one a lot of people
kind of came out, right?
Yeah, it came out around the same time as No Way Home. So they were sending that shit out to die, basically. But it sucks because I actually really do like that movie. It's kind of a deconstruction of legacy sequels. It's borderline a satire of The Force Awakens. Like,
okay,
it's taking the idea of like, oh, we're taking this old thing, making it new. It's like, but why are we doing that?
I see what you're saying.
The story ended. Why are we continuing it? But so it's kind of about that, which a lot of people call it like a hate letter to the industry and to the fans. But I don't think it is, because it was also spurred by. Sorry, I could talk about this like forever, but it was spurred by Lana Wachowski. Her parents passed, so she really wanted to make a movie. She was like, okay, well, I want to make this movie now because I want these 2 main characters, Neo and Trinity. I want them to be happy and stuff. So I'm gonna make a movie about that, while also being a commentary on like the industry and reboots and whatnot.
Question for you. So there's this thing, and I know I've brought it up on the show, so this will be a good like reminder for people. But there's something that like in my family, I don't know why we called it this, but there's guy and girl endings. And so a girl ending is like happy ever after vibes, you know, or at least as close as possible. Guy ending is like Castaway. Like that's a guy ending. Yeah. No one's happy, right? But it's like, do you have a type of like, do you prefer a happy ending over a guy ending, or, you know, or are you like, you don't really care? Or
I think it's like whatever's best for the story. Because there's so many things that I think are emboldened by a happy ending or a more bittersweet or even depressing ending. Yeah. Like, I think it's like what feels the most in line with the characters in the story. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is The End of Evangelion, which is the movie sequel ending to this anime called Neon Genesis Evangelion. Okay. And I generally think it is one of the best movies ever made. I think anyone who loves film, like, I mean, you should watch the show to understand the movie, because it's like, it is the ending of that story. But I think just anyone in general, if you like movies, if you like storytelling, if you like anything about animated movies especially, you should watch it. but that movie's ending is very, on paper and at first glance, it's a very bleak ending.
Yep.
But it's also in tandem a very hopeful and optimistic ending. It's both. And that's the stuff that I really love, is stuff that is hand in hand hopeful and bleak, because it's just, it reflects life basically.
Do you like films though that have that vibe to it? Do you like that in like like a utopian area, like where it's not necessarily like, let me rephrase it. Like you have like the realism, right? Where it's like, this is something that could happen to me tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Or do you like it in like the vibe of like a Maze Runner, right? Or something like, where it's like, okay, like that most likely won't happen. That's utopian kind of world. Do you like what you were phrasing though? Can it be placed in both worlds and you're like, yes, I love it? Or do you have a law, like, do you have like a Matrix obviously is not, you know, well, who knows? Maybe it is.
Who knows? It's weird because life keeps changing. Life gets stranger every single day. Like, so I'm just like, for me, it's always just what is, like, is it good? Is it a good story with good characters? Do I care about these characters? Like, I can sit and watch like a just straight up realism drama and be as moved by it, if not more so.
Probably watching like, the Mormon Wives or something like that.
Mormon Wives, yeah.
That's some realist stuff right there.
Yeah. Big love. R.I.P. Will Paxton. Not Will, Bill Paxton. Sorry, not Will. But yeah. No, it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm a big fan of superheroes and superhero movies.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah.
Are you? Because I think you like Star Wars, right? If you had to pick Marvel over Star Wars, which one are you picking?
Marvel.
Really? Okay, I didn't. Okay, I didn't take that. I thought you were gonna be a Star Wars fan.
No, it's I like Star Wars a lot, and this isn't for the reasons that the loudest crowd who talk about Star Wars these days say. I've just kind of like fallen a bit out of love with it. Yeah. Not for any like reasons of like, I blame this one person in particular, but it just like, I don't know. Like, I liked Mando season 1 a lot. Mm-hmm. I felt as it went on, it started being about characters that were already pre-existing, and I'm like, I want to see new stuff. I want to see like the season 2 finale. We have AI CGI Mark Hamill walk in, and it's like, I'm not moved by it. Because like a lot of people were moved by it, and I was just sitting there like, okay.
That's cool. An interesting moment, right? That's a moment in history where we don't expect it, or we know it could be a thing. Mm-hmm. Like, we see the green lightsaber, we know what time it is, in the sense of like in the timeline. There's only one Jedi that's like that. Yeah. But we don't expect to like that they're gonna show his face. Yeah. Right? Like, I was the whole time thinking like, oh, like, you know, he's gonna just like, you're just gonna like, their reaction is gonna be what tells you who it is, right? And I think honestly, I feel like it was more of the surprise of like, wow, they got the CGI to like actually kind of look like him. I feel like that was more of the awe, at least from my perspective, than the awe of it being Luke Skywalker, because kind of like what you were saying, like, well, we kind of know his story, and we know, first off, Mark Hamill hates the outcome of his character, but also just like that nothing good happens with Luke after, you know, the last film, right? 6. It's like, I don't know.
It was just kind of also weird because it's like, then that little story gets wrapped up in a different show, and he's kind of like saying the same stuff that like caused the Jedi in the prequels to fall. Like, he's telling baby Yoda, who can't really comprehend any of this, is like, you must not be attached to anything. You must let go of your attachments. It's like, even with the context of like the sequels, it's like, it does not make sense for you to be giving this ultimatum. So it's like, it felt like they wrapped it up there because they realized it would be way too expensive to have multiple more episodes of CGI Mark Hamill. But like, I mean, I've heard there's things I still really like about Star Wars. Like, I like the Jedi games with the like Jedi.
Okay, we were talking about this on a different episode.
Oh, really?
Like, and I've never played them before though. But I also am not a solo player. Like, I just don't like playing those solo story games. But do you think that added to the Star Wars world? compared to taking away or just keeping it neutral?
I think it did because so one of the things that's been like really beaten over the head during like the past 15, 12 years is like doing stories between the prequels and the original trilogy. And it gets to a point where it's like, well, shit, I guess everyone survived Order 66. You know, like I guess like not many people died during that. But I think the Jedi games really like tell a good story about survival.
Okay.
Like the sequel especially is really like borderline harrowing at times, and it really like it tells the story of a guy who's trying to be that main character hero, but is inevitably not going to be because Luke Skywalker is that guy. So I'm really like the second game is really, really the story in that is really good, and first game story is really good too, but the second game story is like really, I think, is one of the strongest from this era.
You know what's interesting? Because I was really big into Battlefront 2. Did you play Battlefront 2 or no?
Original or
the second one?
I played a bit of it.
Okay.
And then I forgot to because I had to go back to college, so I forgot to continue it. But I know this it's post Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like following the Imperial.
Yeah.
As they're trying to like rebuild, and then they're like.
Because I guess I did that storyline in that game, but I think the reason why I didn't like the story games as much is because I love Battlefront 2, and they killed Battlefront 2, which was like wild because it's not like the player base wasn't dead. Like they messed up the game when they launched it.
All those loot boxes.
And then they switched it, and then the player base was still there and growing. And so it's just like when they killed it, I was like, bro. I was like, okay, hold up. Maybe they're making a new one, though. I was like, you never know. Like, I give them benefit of the doubt. And then they came out with solo game, and you're like, oh, they're not going to come out with this. Yeah, it's just interesting.
I think they will eventually because...
I don't know how they don't. And it's like, I don't know how many years it's been, like 7 years or something like that. And we still, but...
For a bit, it looked like EA was going on an upswing where they were going to invest more in single-player games. Like, they've had the Jedi games, which I don't think those are in danger at all. The third one's rumored to be announced soon.
Okay.
But then they had the Dead Space remake, which that's a great game. If none of y'all have played Dead Space, play it.
What's that one? Is that...
It's basically this guy who's an engineer goes to this space station, and it's basically space zombies. It's basically, but it's like the presentation of it is really cool, and the story is interesting. It's kind of a takedown of Scientology. It's a big commentary on Scientology. So it's like you know, you won't guess it when you initially play it, but then it gets to the point. It's like, oh. The villains are called the Unitologists, so it's like it's kind of like
interesting.
It's but yeah, they were investing in that, but now they're shifting away from that again, and it's like so they'll probably make one eventually. Don't know how long.
What's fascinating too is that like the business model of gaming makes. Wait, David, look this up. How much money is the gaming like what's the gaming industry compared to like I don't know what's like the movie industry, like how much which makes more, like Hollywood or gaming company or whatever that's called, gaming studios? It's because it's crazy how much gaming studios make.
It is crazy because it's like it all depends on like how many people are getting a console or a PC that is capable of playing.
You said you got a PlayStation, right?
Yeah, I got a PS5.
Have you always been PlayStation over Xbox, or did you make a change?
For like a few years, I was on Xbox basically because this was back in 2009. I was in 5th grade.
Okay.
And I wanted to get a PS3 because I had a PS2.
Yep.
But it was just too expensive. But Xbox had this Xbox that was only 4 gigabytes. But it was like $90 or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'll get that. And then after 3 years, like The Last of Us came out. And then I was like, this game, I need to play this game. So I traded in all my games to get a PS3 and The Last of Us. And then the PS4 came out after and I got it. So since 2013, I've been
we were always Xbox, but that's because all the games that I wanted to play were not cross-platform.
Right.
So it was like, okay, which friends do I want to play with? And then I got it late. I got it, I think, when I was a junior in high school. And it took me every bit of energy to convince my parents to let me buy it. But anyway, but I remember it was like, so I went Xbox, and then I was always Xbox, and then I was like, all my friends were like, just get a PC, and then so then I ended up getting a PC because I also was like live streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that factory money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. But okay, wait, David, do we have an answer?
Yeah, it says popular video games generate significantly more revenue than popular movies.
Damn.
Do we have a number of how much? Did they give it to us? Like, is it like
The gaming industry generated an estimate 347 billion in 2022, while the global cinema market for that year was 80 billion. Dang.
I gotta imagine a lot of that's also from mobile games, from
That's
like
wild.
all the
Wow.
old people playing Candy Crush and all that ad revenue. Like, but like not to discount that because that is still part of that industry.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, Fortnite
That's
too.
crazy.
Fortnite
300 plus
yeah.
billion compared to 80 billion.
All those microtransactions, all those skins in Fortnite.
Yeah, but think about it, that was like 2022. So what look up, David, look up the like what were the biggest games in 2022? Wait, let's try to name the top 5.
Fortnite, God of War Ragnarok was definitely a big one.
Do you think that was do you think over Warzone or something like that?
Probably not, but I'm just thinking of like just
PUBG's got to be there, right?
PUBG.
Fortnite, PUBG.
Does anybody play PUBG anymore?
It's the biggest thing in India. Don't tell us the answer, David, until it's like the biggest game in India, and they have the largest population. So that's the only reason I'm like,
okay, yeah, no, that makes sense then, because like I remember PUBG was like the big battle royale.
Do
and
we
then
think there could be a
Fortnite-
game like Among Us or Fall Guys in there just because it was like a phase
Among
in
Us?
2022? Among Us was more 2020.
Yeah, that was
probably
COVID
fit,
era, and
Fall
Fall
Guys
Guys
was the
2 was
same thing.
COVID era.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Fortnite is definitely on the list.
Fortnite, I think Warzone, right? There's not a Halo game.
Probably.
Like, what are those big name studios? No, hold up. We only got 2.
I'm trying to stretch my mind back to 2022. What came out that year?
Wait. Okay, wait, David. You could tell us, is it console or also mobile? Is it just console, do you think? Is it?
More console than.
Okay. Then I was going to say, so I feel like Clash of Clans would be an obvious
Candy
one.
Crush,
But yeah, Candy Crush.
God, I can't think. What?
There was
And-
a Star Wars game.
Oh, would it be
Squadrons, right?
Nah, there's no way that shit is.
There's
There's no way. Well, even if it did come out in 22, there's no way that game.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got to be like Fallen Order or something like that. When did that come
No,
out?
because Survivor came out in 2023. So I'm like, what could... I don't know. I give up.
Hold up. Okay, we got to just come up with 5 games then. I'm gonna go with. Let's go with Fortnite, Warzone, PUBG. We got 2 spots we got to fill. You want Ragnarok? Is that 2022?
I'll say Ragnarok just because
Okay.
it was a big deal. It was
And then what's our 5th one?
Hold up, is this?
Just Dance.
2022.
Just Dance.
Just Dance 2022 revival. Dance. hold up.
Is this popularity or is this budget, like money wise?
We're going popularity. We'll go popularity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because originally I think it was budget, but I feel like popularity is more fun.
Popular is more fun.
That's gonna
yeah.
be more to the audience.
I feel like God of War will definitely be on there then, for sure.
frick. What's like there's not like a For Honor or something like that on there, right? That's not.
No, you got. Okay.
Can I look?
I'll give
on
you.
my
Wait, hold
PSN?
on. Don't say.
I'm gonna look on my PSN profile.
Wait,
to see what I played.
no. Okay, wait. We gotta come up. I'm just gonna say. It's gotta be a Fall Guy or Among Us game. What are games like that quick? Or I'm just gonna say one of them.
Fall Guys.
Okay, we'll go Fall Guys. All right, those are our 5. David, go.
Okay. Elden Ring.
Bruh.
I knew it.
Bruh.
You guys are onto something with God of War. God of War Ragnarok.
Let's go. Okay, we got 1.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
I'm just gonna say Call of Duty Warzone.
Sure.
That counts.
We're just gonna count that because I was gonna say just Call of Duty, but
And then a couple Pokemon titles. Legends.
I keep forgetting about Nintendo, and that's not any disrespect towards Nintendo. I've just never really been a Nintendo player.
wait. So Fortnite's not on there?
No, I mean no, not on this website list.
That's some
shows
Google AI
Forbidden
shit.
West. Do you guys know? I don't know what Forbidden
Horizon, yeah.
Would have been
Horizon
like
Forbidden West.
what is that a racing game? No.
No, it's you're thinking of Forza.
Yeah.
Horizon. Horizon's the PlayStation title that's like futuristic, but like humanity's reverted back to tribes, but there's like robot animals and stuff.
When did Mario Kart Deluxe come out?
Was that? I think that had to have been when the Switch came out.
When
right?
did the Switch come out?
2017.
Really?
Yeah. I remember.
I totally just ate my mic right there.
I remember because I did get a Switch at the New York Nintendo store because I was on
sick.
a trip there after I
That is-
graduated from high school, and it was like one of only 3 stores because it was sold out everywhere
Yeah,
online
yeah.
at the time and in every store except for the 3 Nintendo stores in New York, London, I think, and in Tokyo. So only those
makes
3
sense.
had a surplus stock. So I'm like, I'll just get it for now.
You know what's crazy though is like thinking about damn, I just lost my train of thought. That's tough. Guys, it was gonna be really intelligent too. Like I found that's my new thing because I seem to like maybe I have early onset Alzheimer's. I'll have to get my back here to give me the test again. But
I should probably take the test.
I definitely
Was it about video games?
no, he literally gave me a test to test if I have Alzheimer's, like early onset Alzheimer's. And I'm not gonna lie, I passed the first one, but then he hit me with that repeated again. Like after we had like for a second after we did the first test because I thought we were done. And I didn't remember like 4 of the 6 words. I was like, oh no, I was cooked.
Listen, it's gonna be hard for me if I do that test because I have ADHD, so it's like if I don't remember something, it's not because
here's like one of the questions on the test though.
yeah.
They show up. Wait, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the answer because I don't have the sheet of paper.
Yeah, don't worry.
But it's a lion, a rhino, and a giraffe, or a zebra. Shit, no, camel. And so, and then what it is if the person says like a cat for a lion, that's something that could be, or they say like a hippo for a rhino, or if they say, what was it for the camel, like a giraffe maybe for the camel, like if they say that, then it's like, oh, that could be a thing. But the other one, the one that I thought was the most interesting was when he was talking about like I'm just gonna go. We'll talk about it short, and then I'll just tell you guys to go watch the episode. But
No, don't worry.
But it was like he was like, okay, I want you to tap your leg when you hear like the sound, and then he was like ja, ka, and then like so like the ja doesn't count. Anyway, interesting. But yeah, no. So for your thesis, you got an opportunity to do your thesis on stage with SCAD, which I think is unique because a lot of times that's not the case. I think a lot of times, or just people would rather do theirs, like do a personal project that way. Is that something that you were happy that you got the opportunity to use that as your thesis, or mixed feelings about it because it was fall of the quarter?
It'd be so funny to say I hated it. No, I didn't. I loved it. I was, because originally I was thinking of writing and directing an original piece.
Wow.
Because I've had this story in my head for a while. I've written out an outline. I just haven't written it yet because writing is hard because it's like you are working yourself up so much of the time to get into the mood and get into that flow state. But you can't get into that flow state until you just do it and let yourself write badly and then do it. But like all that summer, I did not get around to writing a word, but I got cast to Mauritius and Scott convinced me to make it my thesis. So I'm like, you know what? I'll make it my thesis. And then like, if I like that way, if I want to do this, I won't have as much pressure on it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm very grateful that I got to do that because it's that character in Mauritius is so, like, the thing I'm writing about is that he's so unlike me, except for these points of connection that scare me. Like, because we got to Zoom with Teresa.
Do you want to tell the audience like what in like 5 lines? What is Mauritius about, just so they know? So
Mauritius is a play directed by Teresa Rebeck. It's about 2 sisters vying over this inherited stamp collection that's worth millions. And outside of that, there are these 3 men who are all stamp collectors and stamp like entrepreneurs who are trying to control the situation to their benefit. So it's basically just it's a dramedy. It's really funny at times, but it's also like very cutthroat. And you wouldn't think stamps are cutthroat, but they are. And the thing that really gave me a way into it was Teresa Rebeck talking about how, because we got to Zoom with her, which was really sick. It was really great to like talk to her and listen to her.
Source,
yeah, and she was saying that for Phil, he's just this broken shell of a man, and in terms of collecting, because he runs a stamp shop, and she's like, I had a friend who collected vinyls, and you could tell that he was collecting to fill a void. And that really struck me, because I collect physical media. I collect vinyls, I collect steelbooks, I collect... Whenever I buy a game, I usually try to get it physically.
Yeah.
Because I believe in physical media, because like a lot of it's all being phased out for streaming.
Yeah.
And things can get deleted at any time.
What's interesting too is that, like, by having a physical copy, you actually own it. If you
own
buy
it,
it
yeah.
online, or think of like a Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. If you use Netflix's subscription and they have the source for something, or they have the rights for something, like, then you have access to it. If they lose the rights, or they just don't want it, and no one picks up or has it on their platform, it's like you can't watch the film. Like, literally, you can't even buy it anywhere.
Even with stuff that they make, even with stuff that is like made by them or HBO or whatever, they can just decide one day, hey, we're going to take it off, and there's no way to legally watch this.
And I think like that, to me, I'm like, that's kind of like a crazy world that we'll be entering in the next like 10 years. Like, I can only imagine what it will look like.
Mm-hmm. Like, my thing is, no matter how bad something is, no matter how like poorly it's written, I think if you made it, you deserve to at least have a way for people to see it.
Yeah.
Especially with like all the money put into it, I can't believe it's more financially like rewarding to delete something than to just release it and see what happens.
Yeah.
But like, so that's like kind of why I collect it. But I also like was like filling a void. There's a way I can see a way in with that personally. That scares me.
Yeah.
Because that character is like a guy who I fear becoming one day. Because he is just so like, just such a shell of a person who values objects over people.
It seemed like, I was gonna say he seemed a little more type A, but I think that was just like the scenario that he put himself in more than anything else. You know what's interesting is 2 days ago. Okay, so my schedule is kind of like, I like my schedule. Okay, I like my classes, but they're very time consuming.
Yeah.
That's just something I have to get used to, because I think I'm used to the classes just being very hard. Which, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's also time consuming if it's hard. But anyway, so like we're reading a lot of plays and we're doing a lot of analysis. And then my Shakespeare class is like really good. I'm learning how to actually do Shakespeare, but it just takes a lot of time and all the transcriptions on stuff. But I have both of those classes back to back on Mondays, Wednesdays. So I'm sitting in a chair for 5 hours straight.
Yep.
And literally an hour into my first class, my 8 a.m., we come back, sit down, and I sit down. I'm like, oh, I have this like pain in my leg. And I'm like, that's not, it feels more like a nervy-ish more than like a muscle, you know?
Partial tunnel.
Proceeds to like get way worse as that class goes down. And I'm like, dang, I'm going to my Shakespeare class. And like, it did not get better whatsoever. And so I just had like this, and it's like, I think it was like just the fact that I was sitting in a chair for so long. And I had done like a dance rehearsal for 7 hours the day before.
Yeah.
Earlier that week, I moved into this room from my other room kind of vibe. So I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that probably led up to that nerve being pinched. But I was like, dang, that was like uncomfortable. But then it was like a moment for me to be like, sit there and be like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. Like, this is uncomfortable. This is kind of painful. But like, am I going to let it win?
Yeah.
So then it became a mental battle. And I was like, am I going to don't get me wrong. Honestly, it probably did win at the end of the class period because I was so done. But I feel proud for the most part. I was just like trying to rub it out kind of vibe and be like, okay, go away, you know? But then like eventually I realized like, okay, it's not going to go away. I just need to lay in my bed or like do some stretches and then lay in my bed. But I don't know. I just like, I feel like sometimes opportunities are given to us to like, kind of like, I don't know if you're religious. I'm religious, but it's just like, for me, I feel like there's sometimes opportunities given to you to be like, hey, you've been asking or praying for this. Like, here's a test. Like, how are you going to do? Which I think has changed my perspective, because I think other times I'd be like, just complaining, like, oh, I'm in so much pain. Like, I hate this, you know? And then it's just like, well, like, that's not gonna solve it.
Yeah.
Like, which I just think was fascinating to be put in a spot like that. I don't know. I feel like I've been blessed to not in a first world problem, so I'll take it.
No, I've been put in many spots like that because my back is so prone to being pulled.
Really?
Like it happened a lot last spring quarter and last fall quarter. I would like move in one way and then all of a sudden I'd feel this massive
tweak.
tug in my back and I'd feel like I just like, no, it also happened during a film fest of my first year.
Gotcha.
I went to see Venom 3, not because I thought it would be a good movie, but because I'm like, I need to see how this shit ends. I need to see what...
We need to put it to sleep.
I need to put it to sleep, and I did. And now that that whole universe is over. They're not making any more. Thank God. Anyway, but I was going home. This was 2 days before Film Fest. I was going home. I open my door, swing my legs out of my car. I feel something shift that shouldn't have shifted. And I was so worried that I slipped a disc. I was like, oh my God, this is so painful. Like I felt it in my legs. It was bad. And then after like several days, I was fine.
Okay.
And I was just like, was that a disc or was that just a really sensitive muscle? But like,
yeah,
sometimes like you just push on through. Like those are like, we get older, we hurt. I'm 27. One of my hairs here is going gray.
How do you feel about that?
Not good, believe it or not. I don't know. Aging is weird because it's like you expect this to be the year that like, oh, it all makes sense to me now. I accept the passage of time. And then you don't because it's just
Wait, go into that though. Like, what do you mean accept the passage of time? Accept that you're getting older physically and just like you can't do what you once were?
Yeah,
or
like, accepting you're getting older physically, accepting that, you're not 20 anymore or 15 anymore or whatever, accepting that, life is going to be very different. Like you're not going to have, not like you'll never have people supporting you or whatever, but that like, you're not in that routine that is ensured to you when you were a kid. Like, you're never not going to be debt free for a while. At least I won't be. Yeah. But it's weird because it's like I'm still waiting for that moment where in my brain it all clicks and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm chill with this now. It's time to be an adult for realsies. And then it's like, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, holy shit, I'm 27. That's so. What happened?
Yeah.
How was 13 over half of my life ago? That's so like just thinking about your life in chunks.
Yep.
It's like, how is this chunk as far away from me now as this? How am I closer to 40 than 13? How am I closer? Like, how did that happen? How did that happen? Like, it's so weird.
Wait, David, look up what's the year that like we're technically in our like peak physical, or like that's where you're gonna be mentally strongest, physically strongest. Like, what is that year? My guess is it was like 30 or like 29 or something like that.
I thought it was 25, but I might just be thinking about when your brain is supposed to finish cooking. But even that is being your brain is like even that is being contested now. So it's like,
meaning like it's earlier or later.
Later, like, so it's like who knows at this point.
No, you're good. You got time. Said for men, the best year is mid 30s.
Okay, hey,
mid 40s.
The prime is still coming up.
Prime is still coming up. It's not over for us yet.
Okay, we're still boys.
Yeah, put on the pinwheel hat with the spiral lollipop.
Yep.
Willy Wonka ass.
And it's interesting. Okay, actually, I don't know. I was thinking about this. I was just laying in bed and I was like, shit. I just turned 24, right? I guess it didn't say, hey, I'm 24 now. March 8th, that happened. But I don't know if I talked about that on the podcast. I don't know if I did.
Hey, happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, okay, I don't know if I did. Actually,
Happy
No,
24.
actually, I think you did.
Okay, cool. Then I take
'Cause
all
I
of
remember you
that back.
talking about how you were 24. And I
Okay,
was like, I don't
sweet.
think you and I talked about that in person. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you
okay,
did.
sweet. But it hit me where I'm like, I'm about to be 25. I'm gonna have my quarter life crisis pretty
Yeah.
soon. Did
And
you have your quarter life crisis?
Oh boy, did I. My quarter life crisis was that period of time where I was trying to go to grad school.
Oh.
It
Yeah.
happened like right before I was 25, but I had a really bad night because I was working food delivery
Okay.
during that time.
Yep.
And it was August 2023, and it was like a Saturday night, and one of my orders, I had to deliver it to the neighborhood I grew up in. And the neighborhood I grew up in is right next to the schools, and there was a football game happening. And I could hear people cheering and having fun and like fireworks going off. And I'm just thinking, holy shit, I am so far away from all this now. And I really had like this ego death right there. And it was like really,
Wow.
it was like really difficult to process. So that's when my quarter life crisis started. Was around that time.
So that was the SOS. That was the beginning of the scene of suffering.
The scene of suffering,
The
yes.
climax. No.
Let's figure out the golden triangle. Let's figure out the golden triangle.
Okay, that's funny. But okay, wait. So that was the moment. Was that? Do you think the moment that was like, okay, fuck, what am I gonna do with my life? Or
I think that was just a really big moment where I was just like, this can't be it for me. This can't be. I can't have just gone through undergrad, wind up here, and just be stuck here. Because it's not that I hate where I grew up.
yeah.
Like,
Wait, are you from South Carolina?
Yeah, I'm from
Okay,
the Bluffton,
that
Hilton
makes
Head
sense.
area. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I was born on Hilton Head, lived on Hilton Head a lot of my life, lived in Bluffton when Hilton Head got too expensive.
Yeah.
Because now, it used to be a place where people could actually live, but now it's
Yeah,
like
now it's tourists.
now it's a tourist trap and for
Yeah.
like old rich people to go play golf on. So a lot of the things that I enjoyed growing up there are either run down or gone, which really sucks. There's still some places there that are still good, like Caligny, which is like a beach shopping district.
Okay.
But it's still like, and it could just be because I've gotten older and like the
Yeah.
luster's worn off, but I go there and I'm like, it's lost its magic or whatever,
Okay.
at least for me. But
Yeah.
it's not that I don't have any fond memories of where I grew up, but it's like, I need to get out of here. Like, it's like, you know, you have that moment in your life where you're just like, I need to get out, whether it be forever or for a little bit. I need to be somewhere. I need to see parts of the world that even if I've seen them before, I need to like live in it or just go somewhere entirely new, whether it's to like live or just visit or whatever. So I was just like, I need to find my way back to doing what I love and find my way to where I'm supposed to be. 'Cause I've had my time where I've lived, and it's my home, and it always will be my home. But I need to be somewhere new.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like I kind of had a different perspective on it. I think I grew up always. Okay. Did you always live in that area your whole life, basically? Mm-hmm. So for me, we moved around a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I talked. So then we finally settled down when I was in 6th grade in a small town. And so it was interesting because then going to school with all those kids went to the same schools with each other, right? Like there was only one high school, middle school, elementary, right? Mm-hmm. They were ready to get the heck out of there. But for me, I was like, honestly, like I'm just ready for a moment in my life where I could just like stay in one place and know like I'm not going to be forced to move because like my parents aren't going to move.
Yeah, you need some normalcy.
And so I think that was an interesting point in my life. And so then as I was thinking of like grad schools, like, yes, it occurred to me that I would be going somewhere far away, but I think in my head I was like, but I'll probably just like stay in the Midwest, like relatively close, so I'm like close to family. So then the fact that I ended up going to Savannah, Georgia, and I'm from Wisconsin, it's just like, like I think that was good for me, kind of like what you were saying of like just going to see something different, get a different perspective on like a different society and culture and how that works. So I think that's been like really eye-opening in a good way for me. But then it leads to the question like, okay, what's my plan post-graduation? Do I want to go back closer to home where I'm like, is my priority going to be family or is my priority going to be career? And so I think that's now like my ping pong game that I'm playing with myself. But that leads to a question I wanted to ask you was, do you have like a place that you're thinking of post-graduation, or are you like, hey, I'm going to stay here like a year, or you're like, no, I'm getting out of here as soon as possible?
I would do the whole like maybe I'll stay here for a year thing if I hadn't already stayed like 2 years post graduating from undergrad. So yeah, no, I'm planning to, as soon as I can, at least once I get all my bearings and like get things in order, get out of here. Because I mean, I'm indecisive as to where. I was thinking LA initially because I want to do voiceover, and that's like, they say it's all online now, but they
so I was just gonna say like, couldn't you technically do that here?
You can, but they also like a lot of like Bang Zoom and other studios, they usually that pool will live close by. So like,
and there's a culture into it too.
So like, and I want to be part of that culture. I want to meet people who are part of that culture, and like, and just, that's where film is. That's where theater is there too. And it is like, even though it's not as big there as it is in other cities, it's still a very vibrant part of that. So I was thinking there. Then like several people have like told me that New York would serve me better. And I'm like, yeah, I've been to New York several times. I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but like I at least know where certain things are, and I feel like I could get like a handle on that. I feel like I could get a handle on LA too, because a lot of it is made up of residential neighborhood areas. So it's like it's city and residential suburb, which is kind of like, I know that Atlanta, in undergrad I was all aboard on Atlanta. Like that was like where I was planning to go. Then housing in 2022 was crazy and I didn't end up going. But a lot of people I know are going to Atlanta after, and I was thinking of maybe I should just go with them. But like, I'm like, it's mainly like the region. This region, and it's nothing against the region, it's just like I have been in this region since birth.
You've been in the southeast.
I know this humidity like the back of my hand, and after 27 years I want to break up with it. It's been a toxic relationship. It's not me, it's it. And I need to be free of it finally. I need to go outside somewhere and not feel like I have just taken a hot shower with all my clothes on. Like it's rough. It's like, but yeah, no, like New York is on the mind right now, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to financially
swing
and
it.
Like, and I have family that live close by to New York.
Cool.
So
that's
like
a unique thing.
Yeah, I have family in New Jersey.
Okay.
So New Jersey's kind of like a second home to me.
Yeah.
But New York's kind of where I'm planning to go, hopefully, just because like theater is where I've been trained the most, and I feel like if I keep auditioning for stuff there, hopefully it will stick the landing more than like going to a more film oriented city. But
no, it's funny you talking about like the southeast or whatever. I just saw a video, and it's like one of those videos where it's like, I wouldn't say like I'm a part of this culture because I'm very much a student, but it's like you know what's up, or the insides. When I got the video and it was like this guy and he was like, "This is what happens in Georgia at night or whatever." And he just like looks like he's gonna steal the car, and he like whips out some spices and starts sprinkling it on the car or whatever. And then it's like in the morning, there's like just a bunch of pollen on the car or whatever. But it was just like he was like the spice guy, just putting the spice on the car. But I was like, at first I was like, why is this happening in Georgia? Like, and then I was like, is he talking about the pollen? And then it was like, oh, he is talking about that. I was like, wait, I know that because I've lived here. But is that something that's like all of Georgia, or is like,
it's just it's like just this area because like of all the trees that are around us, like because I mean,
is it something like in South Carolina too, or no?
Yeah, no, because like my car is caked in pollen every single day.
It's just interesting because I've never experienced that before. Even like Wisconsin. Like we have a lot of pollen, but never to the point where it's like multiple days. It's just on your car layered.
It's why I'm just like there's no point in taking my car in for a wash right now because then the next day it's going to be covered in pollen anyway. Yeah, and it sucks.
I'm just happy that because I have allergies. I'm just so happy that my allergies aren't like spring allergies because I feel so bad for those people because I don't know how you function. Yeah, like. All I have is ragweed, and I take it. That's a W. So, you know, that's how we roll around here. But, David, any plans post graduation? I don't know you got like a year left or something.
Oh, that's such a tough. It's not a tough question. I just don't love that question because I'm here now. I know what I'm doing right now, until maybe tomorrow. But
fair enough.
Kind of like what y'all were saying though. It's wherever the work.
Do you want to act though? Do you want to act or work with camera?
I want to do it all.
Yeah. I like that. Do you want to work? Do you want to work for someone or create your own?
When I was younger, I wanted to create my own. Right now, I'm not really trying to do that.
Interesting. No, I respect that.
Yeah, I moved away from California, and me and my buddy were talking about like when we would grow up. We were gonna like start a production company, and I moved, and he has other friends, so they're kind of doing that. So that kind of. It's all right. If I moved back to California, I bet like of course they would have. Yeah. They would of course like love to work with me, but yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying acting right now. So
that's sick.
Yeah, but I'm also not gonna like shove away my passions for the other side of the industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because I still love the cinematography and everything. That's kind of like my thing, but yeah,
sweet. Well, Alec, is there any projects or anything coming up that you're looking forward to working on?
I'm looking forward to our thing, Showstoppers.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to keep working on that. I did want to shout out. This isn't like a thing that's happening. It already happened, but I did Next to Normal in January.
Oh yeah, how was that?
So gratifying and fulfilling because it was my first musical in 9 years. I was understudy and we had our understudy run. Shout out to all the Next Normal cast and crew who worked on that show. Love y'all. But it's such a beautiful story about mental health and that you know, you were talking about characters earlier who like, you know, you read a script and you're just like, I want to play this character so badly.
Yeah,
that was Next Normal for me because the character Dan, like literally so much of what he goes through is shit that I went through when I was a teenager.
Wow.
So it was like getting in touch with that part of myself and just having that catharsis. Like, you know, theater shouldn't be all therapy, but like I think it can be therapeutic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't want to just like have a show just be you venting all your trauma or whatever, but it can be a vehicle for you to heal a part of yourself. And that's what Next to Normal gave me. And, you know, like if any of you haven't seen it, or if like whatever, like watch the pro shot from the West End. It's on Amazon. Watch it. It's a really good show. Next to Normal. I'm taking 4 classes this quarter. So
really, wait, like because you have to?
Yeah, because I didn't do my art history yet. So I
just skipped my art history this quarter. So I gotta like get that in. At some point.
It would serve you better if you do it like over the summer or something, or like find a time before your last quarter, because like you can end up getting cast in something, and it'll like you can't.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm not taking it now. Is because I was casting.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason why. Because I was planning on taking it. And what sucks is like it's right next to it's the closest building. Like where my class was is like right there. And I'm like, bruh, 8 a.m. I just like literally roll out of bed at 45 and walk over. Like that would have been the dream, but here we are. Not in that. But Showstoppers I'm excited for. Well, like we have not worked together yet for the most part.
But you're playing the baker in the Into the Woods section.
Yep.
And I played the baker in high school, and that's such a good role. Hey,
I did find out today in my text contemporary whatever like class, he did drop that the baker is the main character in the show.
He's the protagonist.
Because there's the argument of like which character is the main character or whatever, but he was saying
like the witch is the focus character kind of, but
she leaves before that you could even make the argument that she's the main character. Yeah, he's
the one whose story drives the whole thing. It's just the baker is Into the Woods. Stephen Sondheim is just a genius, and I miss him so much. Not that I knew him personally, just like
man, I miss watching him in his window when he's sleeping.
He did when we did Into the Woods. He did send us a letter because our stage manager she went to her grandparents for Christmas, and she found out that her grandparents lived on the same street as Stephen Sondheim, so she marched through the snow to put an invitation to our show in his mailbox. And
that's
then
illegal, probably.
Yeah, probably. But she was like, I'm going to do it anyway.
Didn't have a stamp and never went through the actual U.S. mail.
But then he sent us a letter back saying, like, to the cast and crew of Into the Woods, have fun if you do. The audience will. So it was it was really, we have that framed in our high school.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. But anyway, I'm excited because we're going to do you have a character for White Christmas or no?
I do. I'm Waverly, the general.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm Phil, which I'm like, don't have to dance. Let's go.
I'm not a dancer. That you remember that callback? I was so scared.
Yeah, you and I were just like, bro, what?
Literally, the dance callback for Drowsy Chaperone was a humiliation ritual for me because I thought I could dance still and I can't. And I did an audition for these, professional union shows. And I didn't get the choreography until the day of, where everyone else got the choreography like a week in advance. So that was an even worse humiliation ritual for me. So that the dance call for this, I was like, oh God, please, I hope this is forgiving, and it was. So yeah.
Oh, that's good though. But I'm excited because we'll then be on stage act wise. And then I think the only thing that we'll be in otherwise together is the prom, which I haven't seen, so I don't know what that's about. So I'll have to do some research and figure out.
I've heard it's good. I've heard the movie was bad, but
that's good to know because I probably would have ended up watching the movie. But
yeah.
Okay, so steer clear from the prom movie, watch the musical, and all the good stuff. All right. Well, I think we can take camera 2. Alec, thanks so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And this was like last second too. Like it was literally earlier today. I was like, hey, I have an opening. Do you want to come on? And I'm so thankful that you said yes, because I think like the fun thing about this is that you get to kind of go a little deeper about life with someone, and learn more about that. So I appreciate you, David. I appreciate you so much taking time out of your time because I know it's very valuable, especially this time of year. So with that, thanks everyone for watching. If you made it this far in the video, consider dropping a like, subscribe to the channel, do all the good stuff, and we will see you next week. Peace.